Marci Miller was a longtime cast member of Days of Our Lives, and though she was thought to be dead, there's now a real chance the actor and her character will return to the series. One of the longest-running TV shows ever, Days of Our Lives has been detailing the ongoing betrayals, romances, friendships, and disasters between the Brady and Horton families in Salem, Illinois since 1965. In that time, there have been literally dozens of characters to come through the show, with some lasting decades and others lasting less than a season. Days of Our Lives has already seen its fair share of cast shakeups in 2024, and even more could be coming in the form of Marci Miller, who was on the show as Abigail Mera from 2016 to 2018, and 2020 to 2022. Marci Miller was nominated for 3 Daytime Emmy Awards for her performance in the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series category, and she also appeared in some smaller films like Death Race 2050, XO, and American Fable. Her role as Abigail has been the biggest performance of her career, and fans are hopeful she'll be back soon. Marci Miller could return as Abigail in Days of Our Lives. Abigail Mera is a long-tenured character on Days of Our Lives. Abigail Mera first appeared in Days of Our Lives in 1992, played by Megan and Michael Nelson, and since then, she's been a major part of the show. After the Nelsons came Paige and Ryan Kettner, then Megan Corletto, Gillian Clare, Ashley Benson, Emily Montague, Kate Montse, and finally Marci Miller in 2016. Abigail, sometimes called Abby, is the daughter of Jack Devereaux, Matthew Ashford, and Jennifer Horton, Melissa Reeves, and the sister of Jack J.J. Devereaux Jr., Casey Moss. She's at times been essentially the main character of the show. It's no secret that Days of Our Lives often changes actors around, making up all kinds of reasons for why they look different or have been gone for so long. Abigail has disappeared from the show only to suddenly return before, specifically back in 2007 when the character broke off her popular relationship with Max Brady, Darren Brooks, and left for the UK. That was the last time she left the series for an extended period until 2022, and she hasn't been back on since. At least, it's recently been revealed she hasn't been back on since. Recent events in the 2024 season of Days of Our Lives have suggested that Marci Miller will in fact be returning to the show as Abigail Mera, despite most of the characters assuming she had already returned. It's a classic soap opera plotline, and one that has staunch Abigail fans praying that their season sans Abigail are finally coming to a close. Abigail was seemingly killed in 2022. Chad found his wife stabbed to death. Abigail Mera, Marci Miller, looking sad in Days of Our Lives. In 2022, Chad, Billy Flynn, Abigail's husband, and Abigail are together in their home one evening when Abigail retires to her room alone. When Chad finally goes upstairs to their room that night, he finds her on the bed unconscious. When Chad turns her over, he discovers she is bleeding from her torso. As Chad calls 911, Abigail briefly wakes up and murmurs that her attacker was wielding a knife. Though she's rushed to the hospital, Abigail ends up dying of her wounds. Chad and Abigail's parents mourn her but immediately go into detective mode to find out the perpetrator. Numerous people are revealed to have had the motive to kill Abigail, and many were even at the scene of the crime the night in question. Chad investigates a number of leads that all turn up as dead ends until he talks to Sonny, Zach Tinker, who reveals he was stabbed by the same knife used in the attack on Abigail. He recalls that he smelled vanilla just before the attack. Chad puts together that Clyde, James Reed, uses an aftershave that also smells like vanilla. After some more probing, Sonny, who was at Abigail's home that evening, remembers he saw Clyde's reflection in a painting. Chad confronts Clyde at gunpoint, and though at first he denies the accusation, he eventually admits he killed Abigail. Clyde was actually after someone else in the house that night, but he accidentally ran into Abigail, who threatened to call the police. Clyde tried to stop her, and in their struggle, he stabbed her with a knife. Clyde nearly kills Chad too, but he's saved last minute and Clyde is sent back to jail. Abigail Mera suddenly returned to Days of Our Lives. It's revealed that Annalyn McCord's character is an imposter. Abigail Mera, Annalyn McCord, looking frightened on Days of Our Lives. After 2022, it seemed like Abigail would be gone for good, but that was until the 2024 Days of Our Lives season. In this season, Clyde reveals to Chad that Abigail is still alive. Skeptical but desperate, Chad unearths Abigail's coffin and finds it empty. Then all of a sudden, a mysterious woman played by Annalyn McCord appears, claiming to be suffering from amnesia and having undergone facial reconstruction surgery. A few episodes later, a DNA test reveals that this mystery woman is actually Abigail Mera. Though everyone is thankful to have Abigail back, she is unsure of who anyone is and has no idea what happened to her. However, Days of Our Lives came out with a second twist. This mystery woman is not suffering from amnesia, and she is not Abigail Di-Mera. She is an imposter working with Dr. Mark Green, Jonah Robinson, and Clyde to steal the Di-Mera family fortune. How much of this is her idea and how much is being forced onto her is currently unknown. However, a big implication of this shocking reveal is that the real Abigail Di-Mera is still somewhere out there, and Marci Miller could get to return to play the character. Abigail's body was definitely not in its coffin. So there's some evidence that the character is still alive, and it could be that she's suffering from amnesia, just as the fake Abigail claimed. It's also possible that the villainous Clyde has her imprisoned somewhere, waiting to finish his theft before letting her go. It would be a classic Days of Our Lives moment for the real Abigail to appear at the 11th hour just as Clyde is about to get away with his scheme and put a stop to it. Abigail could get her revenge on Clyde and the audience could have the long-awaited return of Marci Miller.